You better than Banks?
Banks?
Yeah.
You listen to Banks right now?
He dropped like you.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 people right now, y'all know what he talking about?
If there's one thing we know about Jim Jones, it's that the man is going to stay in the media with a controversial take. Capo has made a whole second career out of staying in the conversation, and this week, he's aiming straight at the legends. Because as most hip-hop fans already know, Mase is a huge reason Jim Jones even learned how to rap in the first place. That's not a rumor and that's not shade. Jim has said it himself on several occasions. Jim Jones said, "Mase taught me how to rap." His words, not mine. But here's the real question. Does learning from Mase mean he's now better than Mase? Does it mean he's better than Mase today?
I mean, if somebody taught you how to play basketball, does that mean you're gonna play like them? Teach you the mechanics of what it takes to become whatever it is they teaching you and shit like that. And that's what Mase did. He was able to break it down in a layman's term where I understand how to make music moving forward. That didn't mean I was good at it. I understand the science. And then after that, I had to work on the science. And I'm still working on the science. I smoke Mase boots right now.
Oh, man.
For more stories from Celebrity World, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And Jim didn't stop with Mase, because now he's sending shots at Lloyd Banks too. Look, Lloyd Banks hasn't been all over Instagram, hasn't been flooding your timeline, hasn't been chasing headlines, but make no mistake, the man has been active. And personally, I don't think Jim Jones can even tie his shoes. But let's break this whole thing down properly, piece by piece, because there's a lot of history here.
All y'all sounded different.
They all had their different sound.
We done heard Jim say many times the same story. Yo, Mase taught me how to rap. Mase, but you don't sound like Mase.
At
you
all.
sound way different. I feel like you sound different from all of them.
I mean, if somebody taught you how to play basketball, does that mean you're gonna play like them?
Somehow he's correct.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they taught you how to do something. Like, somebody teach you how to ride a bike, and you're gonna ride the bike like that.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's teaching the mechanics of what it takes to become whatever it is they teaching you and shit like that. And that's what Mase did. He was able to break it down in a layman's term where I understand how to make music moving forward. That didn't mean I was good at it. I understand the science. And then after that, I had to work on the science. And I'm still working on the science.
Still is.
But I smoke Mase boots right now.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Let me stop.
Let's start with what's undeniable. Jim Jones has been around a very, very long time. Nobody can dispute that. He came up in the Dipset era, one of the most influential movements Harlem ever produced. He's got gold albums, he's got platinum singles. Ballin' was everywhere. You couldn't escape that record. So the resume is real, and the longevity is real. But the foundation of that resume traces right back to Mase. Jim learned the concepts, the cadence, the craft of putting words together from a guy who was already a superstar. Yes, Jim built plenty on his own after that, but when the student starts telling the world he'd smoked the teacher, we have to at least examine the receipts. And here's the thing about the era we're living in right now. It's the internet era. It's not just about who can rap anymore. It's about who can stay ahead of the algorithm. And say what you want, but Camron and Mase have absolutely mastered that game. Their media ventures have them moving around the internet and getting to a serious bag.
Them niggas don't even rap like that no more. Me picking on them in the booth right there be like me, that'd be just what it'd be picking on them. And
they showed Harlem, and honestly, showed a whole generation of rappers how to eat a completely different way, off cameras and commentary instead of just catalogs. So all props to them for everything they've accomplished. But I've got to keep it real with you. Jim Jones is out here publicly saying he'll smoke Mase's boots. And part of his argument is simple. Mase hasn't been around musically. Ask yourself honestly, when's the last time you heard something brand new from Mase? It's been quite some time. Now here's the question I keep coming back to. Would Jim Jones be talking like this if these guys were still locked in the booth full time? Camron still steps in every now and then. He'll drop a track, whether he's going at Dame Dash or whoever else has his attention that week. And the skill is still clearly there.
To do, I mean, like, they not ready. They ain't, I mean.
We don't need this for the town, man. We don't need this for the town, man.
I'm not even trying to be funny here. I'm just saying, I don't want to be like bullying nobody in the booth and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, but like, for my era, who?
The ability never left these guys. In my opinion, Jim Jones still couldn't tie their shoes on a strictly bars for bars basis. But hey, let's let the man keep talking because he gave us a lot to work with. Think about it like this. These dudes didn't fall off. They moved on. They transitioned into other endeavors, other businesses, other lanes, but you never lose the love for getting in that booth and spitting real fire. Now, let's be fair to Jim's side of the argument for a second. Mase did have his share of playful sing-song flows back in the bad boy days. Some fans call them nursery rhymes. But even with that, can we honestly say Jim's full run from Dipset all the way to now tops Mase's peak run? Can we say it tops Camron's legendary early 2000s stretch? That's the real debate, and it's not as one-sided as Jim wants you to believe, because Jim Jones is essentially asking, who from this era can touch him? So I did a little homework. I sat down, pulled up the names, and looked at everybody who came through Jim Jones' era. And the list is wild. Camron is on there, obviously. Juelz Santana. And right off the bat, I'm telling you, Juelz is the better rapper. Camron is way better too. Freaky Zeke, okay. Zeke was never really positioned as the bars guy, so we'll give Jim that one. But then you get to J.R. Ryder and Max B. Max B is better, and honestly, Max's influence is doing even more work today than ever. J.R. Ryder, I still think he's the better rapper straight up. And that's just the Dipset family. Keep going down the list and it gets scarier for Jim's argument. 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, Jadakiss. These are artists I genuinely don't believe Jim can sit in the booth with, bar for bar. Then add Styles P, Sheek Louch, Fabulous, Fat Joe, J. Rule, all guys who came through the exact same era as Jim Jones and are still standing today. We may not hear from the Fat Joes and the Jadakisses as often because they're busy doing other things, podcasts, business, media, but stepping away from the spotlight is not the same as losing the ability. The list even stretches outside New York. Chamillionaire's on there. Some people call him a one-hit wonder, but when he first arrived, he went viral in a way that was ahead of its time. T.I., Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. Come on now, that's not even a conversation. Paul Wall, Twista, Cassidy. A lot of these guys have a genuinely impressive history, and when you zoom back in on New York City specifically, it gets even deeper. You've got Nas, Busta Rhymes, Papoose, and here's a spicy one for you. Jim may have had a bigger commercial career than Papoose, but I don't think he's a better rapper than Papoose. You see the difference? Career and craft are two different scoreboards. Uncle Murda? I think Uncle Murda gets him. Mino might even edge Jim out. I'm just saying. Havoc, Prodigy, Tony Yayo, Cassidy again. New York alone is stacked with guys who accomplished so much that, with all due respect to Jim's longevity and his hustle, I don't think he can tie a lot of these dudes' shoes. But Jim didn't stop there because now he's coming at one of the beloveds, one of the most respected pens in all of hip-hop, Lloyd Banks, the punchline king himself. And I already know what a lot of you are going to say. Lloyd Banks isn't active. Well, let me hit you with the facts because he actually is. Since 2004, the man has been remarkably consistent. The Hunger for More dropped in 2004, a classic. Rotten Apple came in 2006. HFM2 came back around in 2010. Now, yes, there's a gap after that. Going from 2010 all the way to 2021 with no album is a serious stretch, I'll give you that. But then he came back hitting it crazy. The Course of the Inevitable series, 1, 2, and 3. Then Halloween Havoc 4 with Pieces of My Pain, and from what I'm hearing, he was really putting on with that one. Then AON, All or Nothing, with Despite My Mistakes, and now in 2025, HHV1, The Six of Swords. The man is still dropping, and that's before you even count the full body of work. Lloyd Banks has 16 plus solo mixtapes. He built iconic tape series, the Mo Money in the Bank series, the Cold Corner, the Halloween Havoc series. And as a core member of G-Unit, he released 2 studio albums with the group, Beg for Mercy in 2003 and Terminate on Sight. So no, Banks did not disappear, he just stopped performing for the cameras. I don't think he lost a step, do you? Because here's what Jim Jones is asking, who's actually listening to Lloyd Banks? And when the lyrical comparison came up, Jim Jones said, lyrical what? I'll box him up. Now, does he have any kind of point? Let me keep it all the way real with you. Lloyd Banks is guilty of one thing and one thing only, not keeping himself in the media. Jim Jones stays visible, stays posting, stays talking, and because of that, he has the attention advantage. More people are going to check for a Jim Jones project simply because they see his face every single day. Meanwhile, from my understanding, Lloyd Banks is still touring overseas and still getting to the bag. He just doesn't have that big machine behind him pushing his name. G-Unit fans still support him, the shows still happen, the music still drops. It all comes down to awareness of what's actually going on in hip-hop today. And honestly, I feel like Jim Jones is not fully aware of what's going on. And that's exactly why he's talking like this. A lot of these MCs stay locked in on their own projects, which is fair. But at the end of the day, Banks didn't lose a step, and I don't believe Jim Jones can hang with him lyrically. I'm just being real. Banks has always lived in that upper echelon for me, right up there with the Fabulouses of the world. And from what I'm seeing, he's been active and dropping all the way into 2025. So here's where we land. Jim Jones does deserve credit for one thing. He stays working and he stays relevant. Cam and Mase moved into other lanes, but they never lost the ability. And Lloyd Banks, he's still touring, still recording, and his style hasn't fallen off at all. The only thing that changed about Banks is that he's no longer front and center in the media. He drops silently, and a lot of people miss it because there's no machine amplifying it. And let's be honest, I doubt Jim Jones has a real machine behind him either. What Jim has become is a social media personality. That's his superpower. He's a personality in the social media world, and Lloyd Banks is definitely not that. But hey, who am I? I don't make the news, I just break the news down. So get down in that comment section and let me know how you feel. Is Jim Jones right about any of this? Is Jim Jones today really better than Mase, Camron, and Lloyd Banks?